Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Wednesday morning market briefing. Yes, our presenter today is Fausto Pugliese for this very special live trading event that we're presenting today here at TradeStation. We're calling it our trading doubleheader. Now, there's a few things on the docket today that we need to preview quickly. First of all, the National Association of Realtors will report their April existing home sales. But more importantly, the Federal Open Market Committee will release minutes from its May policy meeting later today. And Wall Street will be looking to those meeting minutes for hints as to when and to how the Fed will plan on shrinking its holdings. Despite all the political news moving the markets lately, the Fed's still our primary story. And so the futures markets seem to be indicating that the Fed will boost its key interest rate a quarter point at its next meeting in mid-June. That's conversation for another day. Today I want to talk about let's talk about our disclaimers. The presentation is for educational purposes only. All symbols and trading ideas discussed here by the instructors are for demonstration purposes. They're not recommendations. Our presentation today is not an offer or a solicitation of any kind. We're a TradeStation affiliate. It's not authorized to do business. Active trading is not suitable for everyone. Please read that disclosure information and the PDF handouts that we've made available in that document folder in the viewer or on the TradeStation website. As I mentioned, Fausto Pugliese is with us this morning. Bennett McDowell is not. And today we're going to have a live trading presentation that will carry over to mid-morning. If you have time or you're interested, our platform customization and setup service is still available for you to help tailor your TradeStation platform to your own unique needs. A private 60-minute one-on-one session with one of our experienced TradeStation platform experts is probably all you need to help you with your platform setup and customization. Make that online reservation now. Fausto Pugliese is the founder of Cyber Trading University. It provides online education for traders of all levels. He was one of the first independent traders to take advantage of the boom in direct access trading technology in the 1980s. He's a 12-time champion in the Traders Challenge and author of How to Beat Market Makers at Their Own Game, uncovering the mysteries of day trading. Let's turn things over to Fausto and get started with our live trading event.
Don, thank you very much, and welcome everybody, and thank you TradeStation for having me here. I'm really excited about today. I think today's going to be a very exciting day for all of you because what I'm going to be doing is something very, very unique. We're going to be focusing and doing some trading in the pre-market, which I already have a couple of open positions right now. I'm going to teach you what day trading is all about, how I do it. And, I know some of you have seen me on Tuesdays. I come every 2 weeks, but today we have an exclusive event where we're going to be doing trading right now. And we're going to be we're going to come back at 10:30 and do a recap. I want to show you what live trading is and how to basically trade side by side. How I was trained by my mentors. Now, before we get started, everybody, did anybody here listen to me on Tuesdays? Anybody came and saw me earlier on other days, just out of curiosity? And while you guys are sitting there, okay, great, no problem. All right, so let me just launch my execution system really quick because there's a couple of good positions that are coming in right now. I want to go out there and share. Let me just get the sharing screen. All right, there we go. All right, so for some of you that do know me, I'm an actual day trader. I'm one of the original day traders that started back in the early 90s, actually 95. So when I started, it was about 1,000 of us. Now there are over 10 million around the world. So I've trained hundreds of thousands of people over the year. Also, like Don told you, the author of How to Beat Market Makers Their Own Game. Now, what my goal today is, we're doing something very, very unique, and hopefully everybody is registered for the 10:30 one-hour presentation I'm going to be doing. But what we're going to be focusing on, we're going to look at some stocks that are moving this morning. I'm actually already in some pre-market trades already. I'll show you what I've done. And not only that, but we're going to come back at 10:30 and do a recap and see what's going on, why we got in these trades, and how to trade side by side. Now, there are a couple of big moves that are going on this morning. First of all, I'd like to let you know that what I look for is trading in the pre-market. That's where we make most of our money. Now, has anyone here a day trader or a stock trader, a swing trader or an options trader? Just tell me what you guys are doing so I get an idea. Okay, Susan, you are. Okay, good. All right. Ethan, you're doing a little swing. Okay. All right, good. So basically what I'm looking for is what's going on in the pre-market. Now, there are a couple of stocks that are working right now. You could see one of the positions that I'm in right now. Let me just show you my positions right here. I'm in two positions right now. I'm in DY, and I'm also in INO, okay? Both the I don't have a great position in the INO right now. I actually chased it a little bit, but I do have a pretty good position in the DY. All right, and there's a couple other ones that we're going to be looking at also. So I own the DY right now at I put a trade in at 901, and basically I got 400 shares of it. I had 100 left. But the reason why I'm in this position is this: the stock is down 13%. Unfortunately, I didn't get it when it made its bounce at $88, but I did get it and chased it all the way up to about 91.25. Now, if I get out right here, ladies and gentlemen, in a matter of, 10 minutes, how much money would I make on that position? If I get out of this position right now, how much money would I make? About $400, right? So I'm going to cancel, I have outstanding positions, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to cancel that, and I'm going to sell my position. Oops. And I have my 400 shares in there. I'm just going to get out of that. Oops, I had another position in there. Oh, there we go. Oops, I got 500, that's why. Okay, all right, so I'll take the profit on that position. It's about a $400 profit. Probably I should have held on to it, but I still made money, and that's what day trading is all about. We got in. We bought it on the bounce. You could see right here how the stock literally had a nice little push. It's got resistance levels right here. It's one of the main reasons why I probably wanted to get out. But if it does break this resistance, you could see how the stock came from 110, went all the way down 15 points. This is what day traders looking for. We're just looking to make a day's pay. Okay. Now think about it. Less than 15 minutes. If you could do that every day, $400 a day, there's your six-figure salary. Now, there's another stock that we've been watching also that's making a big move, and you can see here, which is INO. Now, INO, I also own this position, and this stock basically, they got some FDA approval from HIV drug or something like that. Stock you could see right here this morning went from $7.50 to $12. All right, up a huge percentage. And now it's starting to trend down. And looking at it, you could see there is a buyer here for 3,200 shares on the matrix for 970. I probably would hold it until then. If that guy gets out, then I basically will take a loss on that position. You know, I have a nice profit in the other one. So, you know, this is basically trading in pre-market. So what are we looking for as professional traders? We're looking for supports and resistance levels. We're looking for where the buyers are. And because it's these buyers out here what make stocks go up and go down. Now, did you notice here in the matrix there was that buyer for 4,200 shares at 970? Now look what the price is. They hit that support level, and now the stock went up, and there's a 7,000 share buyer at 975. This is what we look for as when it comes to day trading. We're looking for what we call iceberg orders. These are what we look for as in high frequency trades. Now, if those buyers get executed, that's obviously a bad sign. That means someone's selling it, so it should back off. But you can see how the stock is starting to go back up again with these big buyers coming in. And that's what we're really kind of focused on. So we got two positions that we found. Now, working through the morning briefing, What I'm going to be looking at, just to let you know, is I'm working off the big percentage gainers. There's another nice stock that is moving pretty nicely too here, and this stock, I'm not prepared to purchase it yet, because it is testing yesterday's resistance levels at 580. There's not a lot of big iceberg orders out here on the matrix, but I'm going to put it on my watch list. So hopefully everybody's got a pen and paper, but I'm going to write a couple of stocks down that are on my watch list. The first one is INO. The second one is the one we just sold, the DY. And I'm not in position yet, but I'm going to see how the stock opens up this morning. I think I did my pre-market trading already. I think I'm happy where I am right now. Let me just bring up the INO because I'm not really completely sold on that position. And let me see, is there any, there's a 10,000 share buyer out there. Okay, so if it does break that 970, I'm going to get out of that position, just to let you guys know. All right, here it comes up to it, 9,000 shares. You can see Archipelago, there's other ECNs orders out there. Okay, so it's holding pretty strong. I'm going to hold on to it. I'm, you know, like I said, I'm a little concerned about that position right now. So let's just see if that guy gets done. All right, so let's do some more shopping and see what's going on. There's another stock right here that, like I told you, the TS I'm going to look at. There's a couple of other ones in here also. This one looks pretty good also, the TLYS, very inexpensive. Only concern right now is the spread is a little bit big, okay? Looking at it, there is a 8,000 share buyer out here. So I'm going to go out there. I'm going to scalp this position. And I'm going to go out there at 1031. Going to put an order off of 1,000. Okay. Going to put a limit. All right. See how that works out because there's a big buyer out there at that position. I would like to go out there with him. I'm actually a penny, you know, basically looking at that one. Let me look at another one out there. This one's got great volume. It's up 8%, 200,000 shares. SR, SDL. This one, it's anything under $1 I kind of shy away from, but this one is not terrible. The XGTI, it's got some good volume. It's got a nice little push. It's going to be testing support levels. For some of you don't know the stock, I traded the stock last year. The stock went from 10 to 30, so we know it's got good volatility. So we're going to keep an eye on this one, XGTI. As of right now, I'm not really completely sold on it, but like I said, we're going to keep a close eye on it. All right, so anyway, I want to go back to the INO. You guys notice anything interesting about it? Look at that. The stock finally went up. That big buyer came in, so we're looking pretty damn good with that position. Look at that. All right. So did you notice how we didn't sell it and we saw the big buyer? This is what we teach you at CyberTrade University. We saw the big orders out there. I'm not acting any smarter than anyone else. I'm not using any indicators that are going to tell me what happened because they're laggers. But as of right now, if I took that loss, okay, that 20-cent loss now is basically a 50-cent winner. You see that? So we're looking pretty good with that one. The DY, just want to go back and show you what happened with that DY. DY did back off a little bit. Okay, it kind of went to a low about 92, so maybe that was a good trade. So what else we got on our list that we're going to keep an eye on? All right, so we have the XGTI, good volume, good spread, good movement. We put that one on our watch list. Here's another pretty interesting one, but it looks like it's a buyout because it's not really going anywhere. I'm going to hop over here on the losers list because anything under 5%, I'm really not interested. Here's a stock that looks like a pretty nice short, ANW. That one is breaking lower lows. One problem that we have, this is what's called a scalping stock, where we have a 5-cent spread, so we've got to be a little cautious on that one. Do you ever short? Yes, Paul, and then honestly, not enough. I wish I shorted more than I did before, but I do short. I love shorting. Whatever goes up comes down twice as fast. But that one looks pretty good too on a short, but the only concern I have with this one is the spread's a little too big. And I think we're pretty much done. I think we got them all. So what do we got? We got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 5 stocks that we're watching. All right. As of right now, we're still holding on to the INO. We got out of the DY, and like I said, we probably could have made a little bit more money on the DY. We got out at 92.25. Could have made a little bit more on that position. But you know what? This stock right here for me, ladies and gentlemen, it's a little bit more on the expensive side. You need a lot of money to trade it, and you're dealing with the best traders on Wall Street. It's a little and you're not getting good high frequency trades when it comes to this one, which is everything we're going to show you at 10:30. Now, before we go, ladies and gentlemen, and get ready for the open, does anyone have any positions you do want me to look at before we get ready for the open? Anything out there? Okay, now, Rose, regarding about Apple, okay? Now, Apple is not a day trading stock, okay? This is a swing trading stock, okay? You can't, us day traders trade about 1,000 shares a day, okay? 1,000 share lots, and we're not going to risk $153,000 to do that. I can make a lot more money trading INO, okay? And you could see it. Look at INO is up 41% versus Apple doing nothing. So that's not a good trade. Same thing with Google, Ross. And please don't tell me, well, you could trade the options. Well, listen, if you can't make money just trading the stock, let me just give you advice. It is 10 times harder to trade the option. You have to be a good stock trader because you have to understand the movement of the stock before you could trade the option. Because I get people says, well, but you could trade the option. Well, you don't want to be a poor man playing a rich man's game. Learn how to trade the stock. There's a lot of stocks out there to trade, which we're going to cover a lot more at 10:30. The Baidu, same thing, BIDU, okay? Baidu is a $192 stock. This is not a day trading stock, okay? This is more of a swing trading stock. Now, if you're looking if you're a good day trader, and I look at it as a swing trade perspective, the stock's got major resistance levels at $1.95. So if you are focusing on a swing trade, that's where my exit would probably be. But as a day trade, not a good stock at all. Okay. Now, Dust, on the other hand, we've traded Dust. We also traded Nugget, JNUT. Now you're talking ETFs. Now, ETFs, just to let you know, are very, very speculative. They're very hard to follow dominated market makers. It's, they trade with the market a lot more. Us as a day trader, we would rather trade something with less risk and more reward. And as of right now, Dust and Nugget are not really your day trading stocks. Now, as a swing trader, they're getting close to a major support, but other than that, I would stay away from it, okay? The HTZ, as of right now, no one has yet showed me a really good day trading stock. So far, we got 4 or 5 of them, and I would love to add to this list, but as of right now, no one has brought one up. HTZ, another thing, no volume, no movement, nothing. Not a good day trading stock at all. AVEO, same thing, up 3%, 250 shares. It's got a good. You could see it had a good swing, but if you're a swing trader on this position, you are testing somewhere right below probably 87 cents. I'll be focused on getting out probably right now, where you probably if you can get out in the offer. But as a day trader, I would not trade this at all. All right. Anything else, ladies and gentlemen? I think we pretty much nailed them all. TradeStation does not have a lot of low-price stocks available to short. Well, that's why you have to make sure you have to test it and see if it's out there before you actually do the trade. Okay. The stock is starting to back off a little bit. I might want to consider. This is the problem about trading. You got good. You're looking at it 1 minute, and next minute goes back, reverses on you. So, I know I got that big buyer of that iceberg order at 75. So I'll see how it works out. And you know what? When we come back at 10:30, we'll analyze these trades a little bit more. All right. Now, before we go, ladies and gentlemen, just a couple of quick ones. CARA. Oops. Not a good day trading stock, no volume. I'm sorry, Rose. Not a good one at all. TCS, you got good volume. I mean, the TCS, we added it to our watch list, Bill. That's a good trade. You know, we already have this one on our list. We're keeping an eye on that. Ethan, you know what? We'll talk a little bit more about that when we get towards 10:30. Right, as of right now, my main goal and why we have you guys, TradeStation has me here this morning. Our goal is we're doing a doubleheader. We're basically getting into positions. We're going to be trading some stocks that we watched, and we're going to come back at 10:30. We're going to do some more live trading and kind of get more of a detail regarding explaining, why these things are going up and down the way they do. Okay. Michael, no, I don't really deal with indexes, and you know what? That is a whole explanation itself. In a real briefly, I don't like dealing with the best traders on Wall Street. You need more money. You're dealing with more volatility. Just like you saw with DY. Most day traders, we just like to make our, $1,000 a day. We make our 50 cents, $1 a day, and that's it. How we make it, and who we made it from is irrelevant. It's not about, who you're trading. It's what you're trading, and some of those things don't really move. No, I don't, JJ. I don't trade E-mini futures. That's just not my forte. Like I said, I was trained by the best traders on Wall Street living in New York. And the thing is this, if you like competing against the best traders, then deal with the E-mini futures. If you like to just risk the least amount of money as possible with the high amount of reward and trade things that are up 50, 100%, then that's what we preach and teach here at Cybertrade University. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, did everyone get the registration link to register for the event for 10:30? Does everybody have that? Okay, Don Proud will just put it up there. Okay. So what I'm going to do, guys, I want to get back to trading, and I'll meet you all back here at 10:30, and we're gonna do some more trading, and we're gonna talk about what we traded going into the open, and then I'll be able to answer your questions in more great detail. So you'll get an opportunity to trade side by side and see what it's like to trade with a professional day trader. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. TradeStation, thank you. Don Pratt, look forward to it. I want to get ready. We got less than 8 minutes to go. So I'll see you all back here at 10:30, which is about an hour from now. Thanks, everyone. Good luck today and happy trading.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. If you were at our morning market briefing, and if you weren't at our morning market briefing, hello to you today, and welcome to our live trading event with Fausto Pugliese.
Thank you very much, Don. Thanks, Mike Burke and Christina, and thank you, TradeStation. I was saying cyber trading. TradeStation for having me here for the part 2 of our event. So hope everybody had a exciting morning that we had at 9 a.m. We did a morning briefing. We did some pre-market trading, and I want to go over some of the trades that we've done and what's moving right now. Just out of curiosity, who was here earlier this morning at 9 a.m.? Just give me a chat back if you were here early this morning. Matt, you were here? Okay, good. All right, in the meantime, let me just share my screen with you. Hold on 1 second. All right, there we go. Michael, you were not here. Okay. Those 2 Michaels. CL popped. Well, there's a lot of positions that we found, and we found early this morning that we're making moves. And before we go around and do some shopping and looking at certain stocks, just want to kind of show you that I'm going to invite all of you at the end of this presentation about an event they're going to be doing tomorrow. And if you look over here on the right, I'm just going to bring this over. This is my actual professional trading room. These are all my students right here, and they're trading a position. So as we're going to be in this room, I am going to be trading with them in another room. So we're going to basically multitask a couple of things as we move on in trading. Now, for some of you who don't know me, I am one of the original day traders that started back in 1995. When I started, it was about 1,000 of us. I'm one of the original SOS bandits, if you read any of the old books. And with that, now you can see there's tens of millions of people around the world. Now, just to let you know about myself, ladies and gentlemen, what I do preferably is I like to stock trade, day trade. I do very little swing trading, very little options because I personally don't like to hold positions overnight. We all know what happens overnight. There were a couple of positions today that took big, big hits. We'll look at them. We actually, unfortunately, capitalize on catastrophes like that. But as a professional day trader, just wanted you to just be very specific and you understand day trading means you're in and out the same day, okay? And then there's scalping, meaning just trading spreads, whatever it is. Now, my goal, what I'm looking to do is kind of educate everyone here a little bit about what is day trading, what to look for, and I think one of the biggest things that I think a lot of people need help with is entries and exit points. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Now, if you have any questions about anything that we're specifically talking about, this is the best time to do it. All right, so if you get the opportunity, go out there and do that. All right, so what we're looking at right now is a stock symbol, TGI. Now, did anyone hear about this stock and saw what was going on? Did anybody see what happened with TGI? Anybody's trading it? Anybody in the position right now? Nice big mover. Let me just zoom in here, make it a little bit better so you guys can see a little bit better. All right. So anyway, where does this TGI come from? Okay. The stock's up 34%. I don't know if you guys ever seen a stock up 34%, but we do this, we're in stocks 34, 50, 100% every day. This is what we do. Day traders, what we're looking for is stocks that have volatility in it, stocks that have, that are moving in the market. And here's one stock that's moving. Now, why is it moving? How much higher it's going? Our goal is just to make a day's pay. So let me just clarify that really quick. A day's pay, what that means is that we just try to make, if you're trying to make $100,000 a year as a day trader in trading, all you're looking to make is about 50 cents a day. That's basically what it is, $500 a day. 50 cents, when you really think about it, is not a lot. Now, is it easy? Absolutely not. Okay, but it is simple to do it. Everyone's always trying to hit grand slam home runs, and that's what we're looking for. So just to so you guys can keep that in mind. Now, for some of you that we hear, we're going to come back to the TGI, all right? But I want to go about some of the stocks that we did in pre-market, all right? Now, what's great about the TradeStation platform, it allows you to trade in pre-market. You can go out there, you could trade in pre-market, you can get out, and you could see a lot of volatility that's going on. And one of the stocks that we traded was INO, okay? Now, INO, I want to bring this up. You're looking at INO. We traded this stock in the pre-market, and you could see right here that INO, let me just go back a little bit further. There we go. So INO went from $7.50, and this is in the pre-market. This is at 8:30. You can look here on the intraday chart. It went from $7.50 all the way up to $12. Huge, huge winner. In the pre-market, now you could see how the stock started reversing. Now, we did our meeting around 9 o'clock, okay? And I got into this position. I bought 500 shares, okay, at $9.90. All right. Now, I took a loss on this position. All right. I took a loss, but it was a good loss. Okay. I got filled in at $9.98, and I sold it at $9.50. Now, we saw the stock go up, and why I'm saying this is a good loss is because look where the stock is right now. If I own the stock at 10, ladies and gentlemen, and I sell it now at $8.85, how much money did I lose on that position? Let me just let me know if you guys could do quick math. What is $10 minus $8.85? It's $1.15. Now times that by 1,000 shares. How much money is that? How much money is that? about $1,500. Do that every day, and you'll be bankrupt pretty quickly. Okay, so the thing is this: why do I call it a good loss? Because the stock was not going in my direction. It actually was earlier when I bought it, and I could have made a profit and sold it at 10.23. But I was trying to juggle two things because I want to show you guys what it's like to be in winners and what it's like to be in losers. And if you look at this position, it finally came down. It tested major support levels. Okay. Now, for some of you that were here earlier in the morning, one of the main reasons why we held on to INO, which is the ultimate favorite, which is what I'm going to talk and teach you guys tomorrow in a 1-hour presentation, because this is a live trading demonstration, is the matrix. Okay. The matrix is, in my opinion, one of the best tools on the TradeStation platform. And I'm going to explain to you why. 70% of the volume that trades in a stock is done by high-frequency trading. 70%. Now, could you imagine monitoring 70% of the volume? Well, guess what? You got the tool right in front of you. It's called the matrix. And the matrix, what it basically is, it basically integrates all the ECNs, BATS, Archipelago, NASDAQ, all the ECNs, which stands for Electronic Communication Network. And what happened there is we saw a very big buyer at the price of $9.75, which would explain why the stock had a big support level here. And then what happened there is once that buyer got executed, that's when I realized it's time to get out. Remember, what makes support resistance levels? Buying and selling. That's what it does, okay? So you could see right there that if I didn't see that buyer getting executed and I didn't plan ahead and took that loss would have been a very big loss, which is, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, it's one of the hardest things to teach. I personally tell people losing money is a good thing because if you know why you did it, you're not going to do it again. So there was an example of that trade that was done in pre-market. Now, one of the big winners that we had in the morning was the DY. Let's bring up that one. Now, the DY worked out pretty good in our favor, okay? We bought DY at 21.25, and we sold it at 91.22, and we sold it at 92.25. So if you look at the chart, ladies and gentlemen, we actually did pretty well with it. It went higher, but look what happened. If we didn't get out and took that profit at 907, even though it did go higher, the stock went all the way down to $87. Now do the math on that one. If you lost let's use simple math, 1,000 shares. If you didn't take that $1,000 profit because it wasn't good enough for you, and then stock drops down to 87, guess what? You would have lost almost $5,000 in that position, okay? So there are some of the positions that we did, and we're going to look at some of them, but what I'm here to kind of educate a lot of you here on what trading is all about is that day traders, we don't care what we trade, we just want to make money. We're looking for stocks to have good volatility, good movement, like DY down 16%. Like stocks like, the INO, which up 24%, or stocks like right now, which is making a nice move. Stocks like TSC, 37%. So this is what we're looking for. TGI, nice big mover, up 32%. I mean, look at that trend. This is what we're looking for. Okay. Now, before I move on and look at some positions, let me just fix something here. Okay. Does anyone have any questions so far about any positions out there, or is anyone in a position right now? Anyone in a position, or want me to look at something before we go around and do some shopping? Okay, Caterpillar. Okay. Now, Caterpillar is a really good stock, and the reason why Caterpillar is up so much, if you look right here, Caterpillar went from $80 all the way to 95. Now, Caterpillar has a lot to do with the Trump bump, okay? Now, if you love Donald Trump or you hate Donald Trump, okay, the thing you have to understand as a trader is that we have a whole new regime that came into office, which is the total opposite of a regime of the Obama administration. One believes in, in one theory, the other one believes in another theory. So, CAT is up a lot because of infrastructure, and I guess Trump's biggest thing is make America great again, and he wants to help build a lot in this country by Americans and made Americans. Well, Caterpillar's an American company, and you could see it's doing really well. Now, the problem with Caterpillar is this: it's not a day trading stock. Okay, it's more of a swing trading stock. You could day trade it today, but honestly, would you want to go risk $103,000 to do that? I would rather trade, a $30 stock like INO than Caterpillar. You remember, your goal is if your goal is to make $500 a day, why would you go risk $100,000 when you can do it $30,000? And not only that, but when you deal with more expensive stocks, you deal with more brand name market makers, just like NVIDIA. NVIDIA has been a great mover, and NVIDIA has been on fire lately. It went from 70, another Trump bump, went from 70 up to 90. It's been going up like a rocket, but it's more of a swing trade. It's not more of a day trade. And if you do like NVIDIA, then you're probably better off trading Micron Technologies, or AMD, because they're all in the same industry. You could see the difference in price as risk goes. That's another way we do it. Same thing, Bank of America. This is not a day trading stock. Look, Bank of America didn't do anything today. Why would you rather? Where could you make more money? Trading Bank of America or trading TGI? That went from this morning, went from 28 to 32. And this is basically day trading. We only trade within the first 30 minutes of the open. How do you pick your stocks, Chris? Okay, so let's go through that. Now, the first place we're going to look at is over here on the bottom left-hand corner, which is called the big percentage gainers and losers, okay? There are over 25,000 stocks that trade on the NASDAQ, the New York, and everything. Now, professional traders, day traders like myself, we only focus on trading the top 5 most active moving stocks out there. Now, we can't trade them all, but we're going to trade we're going to trade the one that has the least amount of risk with the high amount of reward. Now, when you look at it, you could see that you have a lot of big net changes when it comes to the positions. All right, and what we look for is we want a stock that has good volume and a good spread. Now, you could see like there's a stock right here, MRMD, up 8% today. Now, this is not a good day trading stock. Low volume, and the spread's very big. To get in and get out of it, you're talking about you got to risk on 1,000 shares. You got to risk close to $100 to $150 to get in and out of it, just to break even if you go out at market. What we look for is stocks that have big volume. Stocks like like I said, INO, 14 million shares traded. Now, would I trade it now, INO? Well, INO is up a lot due to its news. But would I trade it now? Absolutely not. It's not doing anything. It doesn't have a push, doesn't have a trend, okay? We're missing a lot of that action, okay? But one thing I do want to point out, which is a great example I do want to point out with INO, okay? Now, a question for all of you traders out there. What makes support and resistance levels on a chart? Let's see if you guys can answer that. Norman, yes, options can be applied to what I'm saying now, absolutely. But to be a good options trader, you first have to be a good stock trader. But my question to you, everyone here, what makes support and resistance levels? Buying and selling. Now think about this for a second, okay? What? Well, it's not historical orders. No, that's false, Nick. History is not will help dictate, but it won't. Will help predict, but it won't dictate the future. Okay, it's orders. Buying and selling is what makes support and resistance levels. So when you're looking at a chart and you see support and resistance levels, how could you confirm that that is a real support and resistance levels? Well, the only way that's going to work is what I just told you earlier, the matrix. Okay, the matrix is what's going to show you where are the buyers and sellers. Now, sorry to say this, but I saw a big order out there, and it kind of got to it before I was able to show it to you. I saw like a 30,000 share order out there I wanted to show you on the offer. But remember, let's just look at the matrix. Everybody in blue are the buyers. Everyone on the right are sellers. Now, what we look for is big, substantial orders. Not 200 share orders, not 400, maybe 4,000, but more like 11,000, okay? That is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for what we call big block orders here at Cyber Trade University. We call them iceberg orders. Those iceberg orders are what make supports and resistance levels. Now, if you look here at 918, you see the high right there, ladies and gentlemen? That bar right there? That bar is hovering at a resistance level. This low is hovering at a support level. So when you're trying to figure out, like, oh, why is that stock having a tough time when it was above, 818, and when it was below it, it had a tough time breaking it because of that big order out there. And not only that, but if you see what just happened just earlier, the stock basically tested close to that resistance levels, almost, not exactly, but almost. But that's its resistance levels right there, where that big seller is. Now let's think about this for a second. How will this stock go past that resistance level of 918? How will that happen? What needs to happen, ladies and gentlemen? You need more buyers, and you need more buyers, and that buyers have to buy it from that seller. If that seller gets executed, what's going to happen to the price of the stock? Okay, now, question. Did you need a chart to tell you that? No, you didn't. You see, that is one of the other biggest mistakes of what traders make. They depend too much on the chart other than focusing on the data. Remember, the chart was invented due to past history, data, technology. But if you want to go old school, and you want to understand how the market actually works, well, let me tell you something. That window that you're looking on the right-hand side, I had to pay $2,000 a month for that data back in 1995. Okay, we had something that used to be called Instanet, and I know Michael Burke and Don Prattle, they know what I'm talking about. Okay, you have to go way, way back. Now you have the opportunity to get it with the TradeStation platform, and not utilizing it is making you trade blind. It's one of the #1 things that we showcase at Cyber Trade University. Is working and educating and focusing on the orders, having a game plan. Okay. Can you really trust the matrix, Tom? Well, that's a great question, Tom. And the thing is this. Are you going to really, could those orders be canceled? Absolutely, it can be canceled. But let me ask you this. Could you really trust the chart, Tom? Can you really trust the chart? Because the chart's got to get its data from somewhere, right? And you know where the chart really gets its data from? The time and sales window right here on the right-hand side. And how do you trust the matrix? Well, you got to see if those orders get executed. And by the way, Tom, let me just kind of reiterate a little bit more. If you can't trust the system, then you shouldn't be trading. And that's okay, because trading is not for everyone, okay? And if anybody here will question the matrix on those orders, then I will make a personal bet with you that if you, because I always get people always ask me, well, how do you know those orders are real? How do you know they're fake? Well, I'll tell you if they're fake. Go out there, let's go out there and let's see you execute that order, and let me know what happens. Who's going to take that gamble? Nobody. Well, what happens if I get executed? Well, that's your problem. You thought it was not real, you know? So do we take it? Absolutely. You take it. It is a real order, because no brokerage firm will allow you to put an order out there unless, you know, you can't put fake orders out there. So that's one thing always boggles my mind. But Tom, you know, and getting back to your last question, yes, people can cancel orders, just like you. You could change your mind, right? So, but it's not a coincidence that that big order is reflecting the resistance levels that you're seeing in the past. All right. Let me just see something here really quick. Let me just bring up a different stock right here. My traders in the room are looking at this stock right here, the NVCR, that's making a move. All right, a couple of questions coming here. Why is the matrix depth? Well, market depth is only showing you the best bid and best offer. It's not showing you all the orders at every different price. Totally big difference. You're getting 20 times more data, Vince, on the matrix than you're getting on level 2. All right. How do you get that? Get this window? Well, Martin, once again, call the staff at the at TradeStation, and they'll walk you through how to get that up and running. I can trust past strong moves, but up and down the chart, but when the result in balance supply and demand. Well, you know, I think I answered that question already, Tom. They could be short selling. Listen. They could be doing a lot, Marshall, and the point is, it's irrelevant. What is important is seeing and having a game plan where those orders are at all time. Do you have 2 sales? Yes. I do load up 2 different level 2 screens windows, because sometimes I'll be executing more than one. But let me tell you something. If you can't make money with one window, how are you going to make money with 2 windows? All right. Let me just tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. If you notice on my TradeStation platform, I don't have a lot of data up there. I've seen some execution systems that some people need like 6 monitors. It's like they're landing the space shuttle. If you can't make money on one, how are you going to expect to add more? The more you have, the more confusion it is. Focus on the winners, okay? How do you get so many levels? My matrix only shows 10. Well, you have to subscribe to all the different order books. I don't know if you have all the order books, but once again, like Don just mentioned, called TradeStation. I'll walk you through that. All right, but once again, let me see if I can find a good order for you. Some of you, I want to see if I can find a good iceberg order out there for you. Sometimes we find good ones that just come from nowhere. I mean, you know, just looking at some stocks. So basically what I'm doing right here is I'm kind of like going through my watch list and seeing stocks that are very active. And what I'm looking for is I'm looking for big block orders. Anything that is 10 times the norm, you know, like this 10,000 share order, okay? Right, you see that 10,000 share, 11,000 share order at 13.95, 12,000 here, you know, got some big orders here at 13.50. Kind of explains why, you know, the resistance is having a tough time breaking that high right here around 10.40. That's what I'm looking at. Carlos says look at ALXN. Why am I looking on this stock? I know it took a big hit from 135 down to 110, but I don't really see any big orders out there. Not really a good stock to look at. Not a day trading stock.
give us just a moment. Fausto understands that he had some computer issues before we began this morning, and he's going to come right back to us as soon as he addresses that. Please be patient.
Cool. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like my system just locked up. I was having some computer issues, so I let the staff know. But give me a second. Let me just bring up my execution system back up. Hold on. Can everybody hear me loud and clear? All right, good. Just log back in. All right. Just give me a second here. All right. Everybody see the execution system okay? Open my workspace. There we go. By the way, if anybody would like a copy of my workspace, I'll be happy to send it to you. There's my personal email address. Just feel free to send me an email on it. Okay? So if anybody wants it, like I said, I'll be happy to do whatever I can to help you guys out. Now, as we were mentioning earlier, just want to look at some of the stocks. I was just seeing if we had some iceberg orders out anywhere. I just want to see if I can find. See, what happens as a professional, as a day trader, most of the money we make in day trading is the first hour and the last half hour of the close. Don't really need to trade any more than that. Actually, this one looks pretty interesting. 17,000 shares there on the bid. A couple of questions. Not sure why my matrix on TradeStation does not show the bid and ask size. Not sure why. Well, Dory, like I said, just call TradeStation. I'll be able to help you out with that. Data request unable to access cash. Hold on. Let me open up the workspace. Open up Josh's. Let me just see. It's not. Change up the screen layout. There we go. So here's another layout that I have a little bit differently. You could see right here. Pretty much the same thing, just a little more data running around. You notice right here on the right, I have my time and sales a little bit bigger than normal. And the reason for that, it kind of tells me a little bit more where the orders are. That's the reason why. Request unable to access cache data. I guess I'm having an issue with the charts right here. Yep, there we go. All right. So what is the time and sales for? Okay. Now, the time and sales are the confirmation of orders that get executed. So, for example, let me get something with just a little bit more volume in it. Okay, so let's look at this stock right here, BRS. BRS, if you'll notice, I have two sets of orders. This one is showing anything 1,000 shares or more, and this is showing me every order that includes hundreds to 1,000. So, sometimes some people look at the orders and they want to know why, why would you have two different time and sales? Well, one of them, just helps me to slow down the time and sales so I can see more bigger block orders. Well, this is showing me all of them. So that's the reason for that. Now, the time and sales, let me just reiterate again. The time and sales is going to show us the confirmation of trades that are getting executed. So if I see an order out here, like a 10,000, a 500, and like one of you just mentioned earlier, and you were asking me, Fausto, how do you know that that's a real order, or the guy canceled, or he got executed? It's the time and sales window that gives you that confirmation of that order, okay? And if the guy cancels it, well, then you wouldn't see any time, you wouldn't see the order get executed here in time and sales. Now, the other thing I want to clarify is that right here, the chart gets its data from time and sales. So why do we look at a chart? We look at a chart to see the direction, right? I mean, that's really the reason why. Well, with the direction, how do you remember the problem with the chart, it's delayed. You got a 1 minute chart, 5 minute chart, things are delayed. It doesn't show you all the orders. By the time it comes here, the order probably already passed. So if you're looking at a 5 minute chart, you're 5 minutes behind. You can't day trade with a 5 minute chart. You at least need a 1 minute and to get a little bit more of a game plan. But these two windows, time and sales and the matrix, are what going to give you confirmation of where the orders are going. Are those large orders coming from? Right, yes. The one right here in the middle, these are the larger orders. This one here on the right is showing all the smaller orders. That's why I have two level, I call them level 2, but the time and sales windows. By the way, if anybody would like I said, a copy of that, just take a copy of my email, and I'll be happy to give that to you. All right, so let me do some more shopping, ladies and gentlemen. I want to focus on more entries and exits. Let me see if my workplace is opening up right now, the other one, the Fausto one. Yeah, data cache is on, working. There we go. All right, so what is level 3? Well, level 3 is also known as total view. And I call the matrix a level 3 platform. This is level 2 in the middle, but it's not showing you all the orders. This is level 3 where it's aggregating all the orders in one big block. That's the purpose of that. Okay? All right, so what time is it? All right, so it's 11:10. All right, we got about 20 minutes. I like to go put some orders out there and once again, I'm not here to make money. I'm not here to lose money. I'm here to educate you, okay? So please keep that in mind. My goal here is to educate you about entries and exits. I'm here to educate you the power of day trading and how great of having a TradeStation platform will help you succeed, if you and to make this a career. Now, getting back to what I said earlier, because I know we had a lot of people that just logged in late. As a professional day trader, the first thing we do, and you were here this morning, is we go out there and we shop for stocks that are moving. We're looking for stocks that have great volume and great volatility. And where are those stocks? They're in the big percentage gainers and losers. Now, if I go back and I look at some of these stocks, like INO, this is the second biggest percentage gainer on the NASDAQ. Now, the problem with this stock right now, and why we're not traded right now, it's not doing anything. It's flat. It's not. You could see from 9:30 this morning, it went from 9.50 all the way to $9. Hasn't done anything. Most of that action happened in the pre-market. All right, let's go to the next one. TLYS. Okay. Now TLYS, another big mover, up 16%. Volume, not too crazy about it. It's only about 1 million shares. But, and also, it's kind of flat. Since this morning, a lot of the action that happened, it was up from the previous day. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of showing you how we scan for stocks, okay? Until I find one. RADA. Same thing. not doing that much. Flat, not a big moving stock. Now, one that was moving this morning was TGI. Nice big mover. Went from $24 up to $32. Really nice winner. Okay. Made most of its big pop early this morning. You could see it from 9:30. Went from 28 all the way to 32. But look what happened after around 10 o'clock. It hasn't done that much. Okay. So the stock is pretty much dead. So that's why, just to let you know, day traders, we only trade the first hour of the open and the last half hour of the close. Once you start getting around this time of the day, nothing much is happening. X, on the other hand, having some issues with the intraday chart right here. I can't look at the intraday chart on X, but X has been a fun stock moving. You know, getting back to BABA, I wouldn't trade BABA. BABA is not a active stock for the day. It's only down 0.5%. And once again, I'm not going to risk $120,000 when I could trade something of 10 times less money. Remember, if your goal is to make, you know, $250,000 a year, just use that number. I know some of you like kind of like blown out of the water. $250,000, who does that? Well, that's what day traders focus on. We try to make $1 a day. Okay. Now, if I did it with a $120 stock or a $10 stock, it's still the same dollar. The problem is a lot of people think inexpensive stocks don't move. Okay. So, but they do, and we saw them earlier. I'm just looking around, see if there's anything really that is worth watching. I mean, there's this ISG that's making a little bit of a pop, you know, coming back from taking a little bit of a hit. He's a $120 stock down to 54. That one's not that bad. NBIX. That one's moving pretty well. BBY, a little more on the expensive side. See if there's anything really that's worth moving. TY was moving pretty well, coming back a little bit. This one, you know, it's got good volatility, it's got good movement, but it's a little bit on the expensive side, Mary. And the thing you got to focus on, this is one thing I teach you what to do here at Cyber Trading University. For you to buy a stock, now let's look at the worst case scenario, Mary. Jim, I'm going to get to that. We got time. Don't worry about that. I mean, I did a lot of the trades this morning, but I'm going to do some more trades right now. But I want to focus on the entries and exits. Mary, to get into TIF, you got to buy it on the offer, on the ask, and sell on the bid. The spread is very, very expensive. So to get 1,000 shares, you know, you could make and lose $100 to $200 in a couple of minutes. Very, very, very dangerous. You know, it's always about risk to reward. You want to risk the least amount of money with a tight spread other than going out there and just trading. Okay. And also, like I said, I'm looking for stocks right now. Well, yeah, GT's not bad. This one's not bad, but it's not really moving that much. It's, you know, it's got a good spread. It's got a little bit of everything, but it doesn't have the greatest volatility. Let me just bring something up here. Bring up another one. Let me just see if there's something else that's moving. There's this one that's moving pretty nicely. Let's look at this stock, PI. PI is moving pretty nicely. See here, you have a good spread. You see the stock moving up pretty nicely. One nice trend, nice moving. Only problem, the volume is a little too low. 350,000 shares is low, and with low volume, you got big spreads. Look at the tier sizes. 100 share lots, not what we're looking for. We want to have people that are trading 1,000 shares. Okay, so just kind of give you a point to kind of show you there. You You know, it was a fun stock. We made some good money with this one. I think this one's going to probably make a move. The GLBS. Let's look at that one. Okay, GLBS, we traded this back in November. It went from $2 all the way to 22. This one's looking pretty good. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to go out there and buy this stock right here. Okay, order filled. Okay, so we got an order fill on this one. This one looks pretty good. And the reason why, look at all the orders. 4,000. You got a resistance 7,000 here. You got a resistance here at $1.05. You can see that's why it's having a tough time. But breaking that $1.05. If that seller gets done, then guess what? It's going to go to the next one, which is $1.10, which is the next biggest seller. So it looks like the stock is moving in 5-cent intervals. But she looks pretty interesting. It just caught my eye. It just kind of just made a big little pop right here. We'll put it on our watch list. No, I do not use Fibonacci's. Okay, and the reason for it is indicators do not work for day trading. They work for swing trading, options. But when you're actively trading within the first hour of the morning, by the time all those things kicked in, it's usually a little too late. All right. So let me just see if there's anything else out there that I saw earlier. There's a couple of stocks that I found. Let's see, just going through my list this morning. See if there's any good shorts. BRS. Let me look at BRS. Okay, so anyway, let's go back to this one, the GBLS. Let's not change it yet. You see what's happening here on the offer? Okay, you see on the offer, you see the big seller out there. Now we want to look over here. You see that seller just got executed for 62, which means 6,200 shares. So it looks like this seller is getting executed on the offer. Okay, so is that a good sign or a bad sign to go higher? Everybody. Jack, how do you compete against traders with much faster systems, Jack? You don't trade fast, expensive moving stocks. That's how you do that. Okay? So yes, that's a good sign. That's a good sign. If the seller's getting done on the offer, that should be a good sign for it to go higher. Okay? But if these buyers are getting executed on the bid, and you start seeing the trades going off here in the bid, you see these orders getting executed, that's a bad sign, and that is a sign that you should get out of the position. All right? But it's a slow-moving stock, so there's no real rush out there. Looks pretty interesting. Let's look at some of the other ones. One of you did bring up, MU. Yes, MU's got to push. The problem with MU is you're going to be dealing with advanced traders. Okay? It's a very fast-moving stock. But Micron is a good moving stock. I'm going to go out there just for educational purposes. I'll buy the stock, right? Oops. Okay, so we got the stock at 29.01. All right, so let's look at this stock really quick. We bought the stock at 29.01. Now, let me ask you guys a question. Is that a good trade or a bad trade? Let's see, and I'll tell you why it is, why it isn't. But I wanted to get in the position. Let's go from there, and let's see how you guys are going to deal with it. I want to know how you're going to get me out of this position. Ben says it's a bad. Vince says it's a good short. Well, we went long, okay? So I'm basically the opposite of what you just said. Anyone else would like to add to that? Good or bad trade? No comment. Wow, that's pretty funny how everybody all of a sudden they're like, you're like, basically, to me, it's deer in the headlights. That's what you guys are. You're like, oh my God, he just bought this stock? What made him buy it? I don't know what to do. I need my Fibonacci up there. I need my MACD. Listen, this is how you basically look at this position. First of all, whenever you're in a position, you don't panic. You be patient. If you panic, do yourself a favor. Get out of the position immediately. Because if the thing turns on you, okay, that's number one. Number two, let's analyze the trade right now. We bought the stock at 29.01, okay? The stock basically started backing off. if you look right here, hit a high of 29.10 and started backing off. What do we need from MU to help the stock go up? We need buyers. Where do we find the buyers? Well, the chart's not going to show you the buyers. The buyers are right here on the matrix. Look at the orders. See what you see? Any big iceberg orders out there, ladies and gentlemen? Any big block orders? There is a 10,000, 11,000 share buyer there on the bid, okay? And how do we know if he's getting executed? Follow the orders here on the bid, on the time and sales. This is how we confirm that, looking at those orders, all right? So as we're looking at the orders, this is going to give us a sense of direction if the stock's going to go up or it's going to go down. Now, was it a good trade? Listen, if it goes up, I got lucky. At the end of the day, it's a bad trade. Why? Because I had no game plan. I didn't see the orders. I jumped in, not having a game plan, and now you need to know what to do with the position. So if the stock is trending down, just get out of it. Take the loss. Move on. Look at the orders. They're getting executed. You're buying the stock on a downtrend, and chances are, if the stock could it go up? Absolutely, but you want to buy it at a good price. What is a good price? You know, probably right here at 94 cents. Definitely, if you really like the stock, at 28.83. You know, that is usually your orders. Remember, those resistance levels are your support levels, and the only way to confirm that is to see over here if those orders are out here on the matrix. LC, I'm not a big fan of stop losses. Stop losses are not popular for active day traders because things could change. They're good for swing trading if you're not going to be monitoring your trade or if you don't feel like you're disciplined enough. But I don't teach people how you stop order losses. You should be monitoring your trade at all times. That's like saying, you know, I got a baby monitor. I'm going to go to the store and get what I need. So I'll have the baby. I'll have my cell phone hooked up to my baby. So if anything happens, you know, I'll just come back. So if you feel comfortable leaving your position and have something else work for you, it's not really going to work very well. Okay. You never leave a position behind. Okay, so now look at the position right now. All right. Was that a good loss? Absolutely. What did we learn on this trade? We jumped in, not knowing, having a game plan. The stock, one thing we teach at CyberTrade University, there's something that we call the 30-second rule, okay? And what happens, the 30-second rule means if the stock doesn't move up in 30 seconds in your direction, chances are it's a losing trade, which is what MU did. But look what happened. The stock went down, and if we didn't get out and took that 2-cent loss, now it would have been a 10-cent loss. And on 1,000 shares, when you do the math, ladies and gentlemen, it's a difference of $20 versus $100, okay? Now, please, and I know TradeStation does not like to hear this, okay? Don't say, well, I got to pay a ticket charge. Why? I just bought it. You know, don't let the ticket charges hold you back, you know, getting out of position. If you're worried about the gas, you can't afford the car, okay? If you're worried about ticket charges, then you can't afford to trade. If you're not trading, you're not going to ever make money. If you're not in positions, you're never going to learn. You got to know what it's like to be in the game. You got to know what it's like to take losses. You got to know how to analyze your trades, and you got to know why you made money and lost money. What happens when you go blank because of a power outage? Well, like Don just says, you call TradeStation. There's your number, and first of all, if you have any concerns that you don't have the trust in your execution system due to bad internet connection, whatever, don't trade at all. Just do not trade. Listen, The stock market is not going out of business, okay? It will be here when we all die, and it'll be here tomorrow. You don't have to force yourself into a trade. By the way, I want to point something out really quick here. You see here at 29.05, a 20,000 share seller. Does everybody see that right there? Okay, that big seller is because of that resistance levels right there. You see the high? You see how people already have their limit orders out there? Just want to kind of point that out. So when you're wondering, and you see how the next one is at 17,000, this stock, if you do the math, is moving in what we call 5-cent intervals. All right, so every 5 cents, it's hitting a new resistance levels. There's obviously more support resistance levels at different charts, but that's where it is. Curtis says, do you trade ETFs? You know, once in a while, I will trade, you know, your typical, you know, JNUT, you know, JDST, you know, Nugget, but only when the market's when the market's really, really volatile. Other than that, no, I'd rather not, because I'd rather trade something that has more volatility and less risk than a very high risk with a very low reward. That's the reason why. Well, right now, regarding Tom about MU, I mean, listen, this is the worst time to trade. If you really do the math, and if you were here at 9 o'clock, we made most of our money in the pre-market. Did we not? And as the day goes on, it just gets harder and slower, and it's harder to make money, and that's what you're having right now. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we got about less than 5 minutes to go before we end up. Once again, if anybody wants a copy of my TradeStation layout, you have my email address. And also, I'm going to be doing a webinar, an exclusive webinar. If you guys want to join me for that event, I'm going to be doing it tomorrow. And let me just bring up this page right here. You just go to ctu.co. Right up top it says the TradeStation event. I'm going to be doing a free workshop for all TradeStation clients that are logged in, how to take advantage of market volatility with the matrix. Just feel free to click on that link and get registered. All right. Any questions, guys? A couple of questions come here. Is post-market also good to trade? Absolutely. Absolutely, Jack. You know, but the problem is that as the day goes on in post-market, the volatility drops. So you kind of like, as a beginner, you kind of want to get more into the pre-market because you're going into an open. It's a lot harder in the post-market. But yes, absolutely. But listen, I'm going to give you one of the greatest advices that my mentor, Frank Ferrari, has told me. If you can't make money in the pre-market, post-market, if you can't make money in the market, you'll never make money in the post and pre. Believe me, it's a lot difficult. Spreads are bigger, volatility is different. Well, Ben, I'm not a tax guy. There's some great tax people out there, but let me tell you what my tax accountant told me. If you're paying taxes, that's a good thing. That means you're making money. So don't worry about the taxes and the difficult for accountants. That could always be fixed. First, focus on if you could make money doing this and if you like it. And that's why, that's what we do at CyberTrade University. You got to learn before you could earn. Don't worry about taxes right now. That's the least of your problems. Any reason why you don't use candlesticks? Well, no, I use candlesticks for birthday cakes all the time. They work great, Essler. But realistically, bars are more than enough. I mean, you don't want to start. Candlesticks are good for swing trading, investing. You want to kind of more just keep things more in a simple aspect when you're actively trading. No problem, PC. You're more than welcome. Dolores, once again, I'm not a tax guy. Oh, we just passed that to Ben. But once again, if you have a tax question, believe me, there's a lot of good tax guys out there that can help you out with that. You're more than welcome. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate everybody. All right, well, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I take the time to thank again TradeStation for having me here today. I'm glad a lot of you did show up this morning to see. My goal is to show you the difference, how volatile and how much money you can make in the pre-market, and how difficult it gets more when you get more in the middle of the day, but also how to utilize the TradeStation platform, and most importantly, how important it is to work with a team. You have to understand something, ladies and gentlemen. Every single one of you here need a mentor, and not only one, you might need a few mentors, and you need to be part of a good trading room, okay? And that's what we do here at Cyber Trading University. We just don't teach people how to trade. You trade with traders also. That's why we've been doing this for over 22 years. We're one of the longest running schools in the industry. But if you want to learn how to do it the right way, then feel free, come to Cyber Trading University. Come and join us for our free webinar that we're going to do tomorrow on the matrix. I'm going to get more detailed on it and explain to it. Just like I said, when you get a chance, fill it out, and look forward to seeing you there. Yes, this is being recorded. I believe it's being recorded. I think so. So you guys are more than happy to review it over again. All right? All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thanks a lot, Don Prato, Michael Burke, Christina Hunt, and the staff of TradeStation for making this possible. I'd like to thank Cyber Trading University staff also for helping out and being there. And like I said, I look forward to all seeing you tomorrow. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and happy trading.